So, what is divine feminine energy? Well, feminine energy is about receiving, okay? And understanding divine feminine energy is not just exclusive to women, it is exclusive regardless of what you identify as or what your gender is, because we all need to be able to receive, right? Imagine if you went to work every single day. And that's so funny because when I did the Divine Masculine video, I talked about going to work, right? That's masculine energy. Imagine going to work every day, doing your job every day, and then telling your boss, you can keep that paycheck. What was the point of going to work? Why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know how to receive. Now, I know the analogy I just gave is outrageous because I don't know not one person that would go to work every day and turn down their paycheck, right? But there are, you will be surprised. There are so many dynamics, especially in relations with other people, not just intimate relationships. I'm talking about relationships in general, where we might find ourselves giving and giving and giving and giving to a situation and never receiving anything of any value from the people that we've given to or from a situation that we've given to, and never really feeling comfortable requiring that this person or this situation gives back. And so when you find yourself having a hard time receiving, or you find yourself in situations or relationships where you're constantly giving and you don't feel like you are receiving to the same capacity that you give, that is a clear indication that we need to do better at harnessing our feminine energy, because that is what feminine energy is all about. When we talked about the masculine energy, we brought up the sun, because the sun, hi DJ, because the sun gives, it gives life by giving light, and it never stops giving. Just because the sun appears to go down, it doesn't mean that the sun has stopped giving. It hasn't stopped giving. It's just giving on another side of the world. Turn your focus from the sun to the moon. That is the female component. High love makeup. The moon is the counterpart to the sun. The moon is the receiver. The sun gives, the moon receives. The moon is feminine. So when the sun goes away or appears to go away, it's still giving light. And the moon receives the light and then it shares what it's received. It shares the light that it receives. But without being able to receive, the moon wouldn't mean anything to us. It would just be a rock in the sky that we probably wouldn't even be able to see. Hey, Lazy GN. Hi, love. You're a Cancer. I'm a Leo. So that is the thing about feminine energy. Yep, I'm a Leo. That's the thing about feminine energy. Feminine energy is about being able to receive, but it's not just about being able to receive. Feminine energy is about giving life. It's about taking what you received and using that to produce life and to nurture. So if you think about like past family dynamics where the father would go out and work, he would bring the money home, and then the mom, she would take care of the kids and she would take care of the house. That's feminine energy. Because yes, it's great that dad works. right? And I'm not talking about family dynamics today. I'm talking about of the past. I'm talking about of the past. You go, imagine if dad went to work, but then there was nobody to nurture the kids. And dad doesn't know how to nurture. Just like the man has the seed, but the woman receives the seed and she creates a child. There are 9 to 10 months of gestation where the womb itself, is taking that time to create life. So while it seems like she has a passive, the feminine energy is a passive energy, it's actually a very potent energy. Um, the chakras help us understand feminine energy as well. So the sacral chakra has been known to be the sexual chakra, and it is. It is. But it's also a very feminine chakra. It is a chakra that emanates feminine energy. During childbirth, in ancient cultures, that's where belly dancing came from, actually. It's for childbirth. The women would come in the room. No man would be allowed in the room. And when the woman would be on the bed going into labor or in a squatting position going into labor, the women would stand around her and they would roll their belly to encourage her, because sometimes just seeing something, it makes you naturally do it. It makes you naturally want to do it. And it would encourage the woman that's in labor to open up her sacral chakra and get her stomach muscles moving so that they could flow with the woman and help her bring the child into the world. And so that's where belly dancing came from. Um, the sacral chakra is also a chakra about emotions. The sacral chakra and the heart chakra are connected. And so when things happen in the heart, it resonates. Love says a single father household better than a single mother US data. I wouldn't debate statistics. I just did a video on divine masculine energy. So if you are more, if masculine energy resonates more to you, then the masculine energy video will probably be more for you. But I'm talking about feminine energy right now. Feminine energy, the sacral chakra, is about uh, emotions, regulating emotions. The sacral chakra also stores experiences. So when we experience um, trauma, the emotions that we feel from those experiences, they the sacral chakra holds on to that. That's why there are certain techniques on healing the womb. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that, but there are certain techniques on healing the womb. As far as a man goes, a man does not have a womb, but a man does have sacral energy, sacral chakra energy. And so healing the sacral chakra or focusing on sacral energy can help you clear out traumatic experiences or the trauma of thereof, focusing on that sacral energy, that creation energy. For a man that is looking to harness his female or feminine energy, you don't have to think about the womb. Think about the creative energy that exists in you. because that's really how the sacral energy expresses itself. That is how feminine energy is expressed through creation. Because, like I said, the masculine provides the seed, but the feminine takes the seed and creates a child. So, regardless of gender, regardless of how you identify, if you just focus on your creative energy, that is you tapping into your feminine energy. So that's when you want to get into that mode of focusing on things that inspire you to create. If you are an artist or you like art, you don't even have to be an artist, just somebody that appreciates art. You can tap into that energy by putting yourself in those kinds of environments. I'm trying to think of other ways that a person can express creativity because it doesn't have to be that deep. Like I said, you could just be a spectator of art. You could just be listening to music and allowing the music to flow through you and, just harmonizing and being one with the music. That is a way to tap into your feminine energy because it is enjoying the creation of someone else. Then there's the heart chakra. Now, remember how we were saying the heart chakra and the sacral chakra are connected? And the sacral chakra, the womb, it can hold on to trauma. The heart is what gets broken in the first place. And so sometimes when our heart gets broken, we close our heart. Females have a tendency to be more emotional. That is because the heart space is a feminine space. It's a feminine space. It's a feminine energy. It's a feminine energy. And that's why we are tend to be called more emotional. And for men, because they don't, it's not necessarily a masculine energy, the heart space. It's more of a feminine energy. When they go through heartbreak, when they close their heart chakra, it's harder for them to reopen it than it is for women. It's easier for us to open it. Not saying that it's easy in general. It's going to take work on either end, but it's generally easier for a woman to tap into that heart space even after suffering heartbreak and reopening and allowing themselves to experience love, give love, and vice versa, receive love. Whereas for men, because they are most times uneven and more into their masculine energy than they are into their feminine energy, it's harder for them to reactivate the heart space. But that's also a component of feminine energy is that heart space, being receptive. Once again, being able to receive. Like I said, could you imagine giving to a relationship, to a job, wherever, and never receiving? If you find yourself in that kind of dynamic with a person or a situation, then that's an indication that the heart space is closed and that we're not harnessing the feminine energy because we have to know how to receive. And the greatest thing that we can give is love. Love is the beginning of creation. Remember how we were saying the sacral energy is the creation energy? Love is where it starts because love isn't just about intimacy. Love is about harmony. It's about bringing one thing together with another thing. And once we bring them together, then we can create. But love is the beginning. Just like if you like to write music, you have to love that thing first. Really get into that thing, tap into that thing before you can create that thing that you love. Bot Boy 7, thank you. Hey, how you doing? So yeah, you want to you. Love is the very beginning, it's the first step. It's the very first step. And then after the heart chakra is the third eye. Now, it's so beautiful how all three of them are connected. I'm being so serious and so corny, but it's the truth. Because now you've got the third eye chakra, you got the heart chakra, and you got the sacral chakra. This third eye chakra helps us tap into our intuition, that gut feeling. This eye up here, this inner eye that helps us see on a whole nother plane. It helps us tap into this chakra and that chakra. That's right, love and trust. It helps us tap into all of those chakras. You know how they say feminine intuition? Everybody has intuition, not just women. Everybody does. It's just easier for women to tap into that intuition because it's a feminine energy. But if you were to learn how to tap into your feminine energy, then you would have intuition, just like a woman. Do you get what I'm saying? And vice versa. When you learn how to tap into your masculine energy, the things that men are normally good at, you can be good at too. Because we both men and women, we both have masculine and feminine energy within us. So you got your womb that creates. We've got your heart that can receive and give love, which is the beginning of creation. And then we've got the third eye. Remember when they say seeing is believing? As long as you can see it, you can conceive it. As long as you can believe it, you can conceive it. Conceiving is a feminine term. To conceive a child, to conceive a dream, to conceive, to have, to produce, right? So with your creative energy, your heart space energy, and your intuition, you can create just about anything. But remember, it all starts with receiving. Feminine energy is about receiving. So that's the main thing about feminine energy. Okay, a call came in. I can't think of anything else that I want to say about feminine energy. Um, because next I'm gonna go live and talk about self mastery. And self mastery is about combining the two, masculine and feminine. So I'm gonna end this live here and then I'm gonna come right back.